It's April 13th, 2015. I'm Matt Castle.
And I'm Jessica Castle.
And this is the Final Family Podcast, where we talk about nerdy type shit that we enjoy that's happened over the course of this week. This is our second live show. So, shit may fuck up.
Yeah, it may.
Probably will. But there's no editing. None.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
Whee! So we're going to talk about a bunch of movie news this week.
Bunch of movie news.
As well as some vague TV stuff. We're going to vaguely talk about iZombie because neither of us were particularly fond of it, and one of us didn't finish it. Darn Parenthood. And we'll talk about Daredevil. We watched at least the first episode. I watched the second episode, or at least most of it, until the children woke up. And Jessica slept through most of the second episode.
I was tired.
Our son's first birthday was this weekend. His birthday party was this weekend, which means I had to take 2 days off to clean.
Yeah, basically.
What else? What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about some games we've been playing this week since we didn't have Flash and Arrow. I figured we would fill time talking about the meandering bullshit I'm doing in Minecraft.
Now I'm going to talk about books I read because I played no games this week. It's mostly movie news. It's almost all movie news.
So, okay, well, let's jump in. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about the Jurassic Park footage that got released. It's about 2 minutes. It's a brief conversation between Chris Pratt and an actress I don't know, but I vaguely recognize.
She's Ron Howard's daughter.
Got it.
I can't remember her name.
So her name is something Howard.
Dallas Howard.
Dallas.
I think so.
You sure?
No, that's the name from... No, Bryce Dallas Howard. I was close.
Well,
I just missed her first name.
That makes her name Bryce then.
I know, but I remember Dallas because...
Yeah. Like I said, fuck ups. They're likely to abound.
Who I first saw in The Village.
Is that where I know her from?
Yeah, that's where you know her from.
So, I mean, I wouldn't say she's a bad actress at all.
No, I really enjoy her.
The footage is pretty much the Chris Pratt part of this whole thing is Chris Pratt. It's awesome shit. Like, I can't wait for him to not control the Raptors and control my heart.
Because he is America's internet boyfriend.
If I was going to sleep with a dude, it would be Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
And so there's been actually quite a lot of backlash concerning this particular footage too.
I would say a lot.
Well, I mean, when Joss Whedon calls your footage sexist,
but everyone it has not really picked up much. But he called it sexist because the way the Howard's role is written as the uptight career woman who has no room for romance or love, and
because the 1980s, she even has shoulder pads.
I'm not sure I would call it sexist, but I would definitely call it a really tired trope.
Yeah.
It's something that we've all seen before.
Because the 80s.
So I wouldn't necessarily call it sexist.
I mean...
But it is,
It's a tired trope, but it's also a minute and a half, right? Like, this could be...
And let's be honest...
a lot of it is her general way she carries herself. Yeah. And the clothes, the costuming is very, 1980s career woman kind of thing. I would actually say the dialogue is pretty neutral. It doesn't really, she's being somewhat playful with it. What's wrong with you?
I need to move this awful wine from last week that's never gotten removed.
Parenthood, folks. This is a prime example of parenthood. The single glass of wine that has been up here all week.
Yes. And it really smells.
Well, we need some vinegar anyway.
There we go. So I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't call it sexist. And this, let's be honest, they're using Chris Pratt to his full marketability at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's going to see everyone of our age is going to see Jurassic World
because Jurassic Park.
Because we saw Jurassic Park at peak movie time to be nostalgic about it.
We all have the guilty pleasure of Jurassic Park 2, but we will never admit to Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I do not remember a single thing about Jurassic Park 3.
There's made up dinosaurs. It's where the kid gets lost on Island B. Or is that the second one? I don't remember.
I remember.
No. They convinced what's-his-face to go back.
Sam Neill.
No, the other guy.
That's Jeff Goldblum?
Yes, they convinced Jeff Goldblum to go back in
the second one.
Is it the second one?
Anyway. So they're wanting to recapture that magic that we felt as children.
Continue to feel.
Because the first one is still a
good
excellent movie.
It still looks beautiful.
It's still a very good movie.
Want to buy a Blu-ray of Jurassic Park. Yeah. That actually may be a thing. I don't know. I might have to go look that up right now.
But so for everyone else who may be on the fence, they're using Chris Pratt's charm and his moment that he's having. This clip was to showcase Chris Pratt.
Yeah. And that's all it was.
So that's all it was. So they're going to pick a scene where he's at his top, but they're not giving away anything really big in the movie. They're not going to give away major scenes this early in the marketing. Not the probable. I'm sure. I certainly hope that she has better scenes than this in the movie.
At the end of the day, it's not a Michael Bay movie, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
It just won't be that bad.
We will not have
because it's not Michael Bay.
Slow-mo of her ass as she walks up the stairs. So yay.
Or a woman looking at an engine clearly when she's just posing for cover shots of Hot Rod magazine or whatever.
So while this clip did not necessarily make me more excited for Jurassic World,
because there was no dinosaurs in it.
But it didn't discourage me from seeing it.
Certainly
I'm still
not.
Very much looking forward to it.
Super excited. We'll have to find a babysitter for that one.
Yeah. Next up, that actually made me a little bit excited. The Ant-Man trailer.
I'm happy to watch it with the internets for the first time. Actually, I have not had the opportunity to watch it. Well, it came out today, and I worked today. Yeah.
Well, it's got a lot of humor. That Ant-Man is a movie that's going to need humor. Because the premise of it is just so silly in today's
the thing is that Ant-Man may be the suckiest fucking superhero ever. I can't believe he's getting his own movie.
Yeah.
I am super apprehensive. I have the general stance that superhero movies should not be made with known names. I would forgive Paul Rudd because he's kind of, like a B-string actor. I mean, he's not had this is not his moment in the sun.
Yeah.
He's clearly like if we had to call him on the way out, he's on the way out, right? I
don't think so.
Well, I mean, he's made his own couple movies. They haven't been that good. They haven't done that well. He made the Best Man movie with Jason Segel. Actually, that was a Jason Segel movie now that I think of it. He's never really had his own movie, right? But Ant-Man as a character has a high penchant for being lame as shit.
And I think that's why the humor in this is so important, and that's why I think Paul Rudd is the perfect choice.
I think he's a good cast, really good casting. I'm overall apprehensive of any superhero movie where they're superstars that are they bring a lot of extra baggage. Michael Douglas is Michael Douglas, right? I hope that they minimize his thing. His role to the point where he can just be Sage Wisdom guy.
I think that's exactly.
They're bringing Yellow Jacket in. Is it going to be Mike Douglas? Is Michael Douglas going to be? It's going to be Pete from House of Cards.
Yeah.
That's odd. I wonder how many fanboys are pissed about that. Okay, that does look pretty cool.
I told you. Here we go. Live reaction internet.
Yeah. Oh, that's how I feel about Thomas the Train. All the time.
Yeah.
Parenthood, yo. Parenthood.
And see, I think, it's like you said, it is just Ant-Man is just
he's got the lamest abilities. I'm sorry, people. Silly. He does.
It's very ludicrous. I mean, and so they have to have this kind of humor. And I think the cast is good. I think Michael Douglas is also going to be very good because he has good comedic timing.
He does.
And people don't really he's not known for doing comedy.
Right.
But he does have good comedic timing.
And like I said, I feel like Paul Rudd doesn't bring enough baggage to a franchise to worry about that much.
Yeah.
Like, he's clearly not Jennifer Garner in Elektra. He's not Ben Affleck in Daredevil. Yeah. He's not...
Yeah.
What's her face as Storm in... She's so bad as Storm. I can't even remember her name. Thank you. Halle Berry as Storm. Yeah. Or Anna Paquin as Rogue, or not Rogue as I like to call her, or Juba Rogue.
But she wasn't that well known when she did that.
Okay. Well, either way, she sucked baggage.
It up. Yeah. But I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't think this movie is going to be overshadowed by the casting.
Best example ever then.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Oh, yeah.
Ultra mega baggage. He did the best job he could with what was an awful script.
Because they wrote him as Ace Ventura.
Yeah, they wrote him as Ace Ventura of the Riddlers, of the riddles. It's not good.
Yeah.
But, I mean... He brings all this baggage that alters, how they're writing for him, which is something I think has happened previously a lot in comics.
But movies. I don't think Ant-Man is going to be.
I think Paul Rudd is at the same level Robert Downey Jr. was when he first did Iron Man.
Yeah, famous, but not that I'm good with. Not super
he's not
crazy famous.
He's not he's not Fassbender, who actually did a great job. He's my exception that proves the rule.
Yeah.
I still say he's better than McAvoy too, as far as acting goes in those particular movies. I think he did better than Ian McKellen. I mean, the only Fassbender
I think that is a script thing. Though, because McKellen is an excellent actor.
He is an excellent actor. It's just they don't give him. They
didn't have.
I don't think he's got the physical prowess for Magneto anyway, where Fassbender does. But anyway, I think it's going to be good. I'm very hopeful. I don't know that much about Ant-Man because I just don't find his super abilities that particularly attractive. Almost every iteration I've ever seen of him, he turns out to be a mega douche.
Yeah. I did find it really funny that they had Pym be everyone deserves a second chance, and what he's known for is beating the crap out of his wife, and he's no, don't.
I mean, I
thought that was funny.
There have been alternate things where Hank Pym is an uber pacifist and he leaves the Avengers because of it.
Yeah.
But almost every time he's a dick about whatever it is he believes in.
Yeah.
If he's not if he's not a sexist pig in one iteration, he's a pacifist dickhole who's forcing he's like an atheist.
How about we just say he's a jerk?
Whatever. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I have to be more graphic than that.
Yeah.
It's my show. Okay, it's our show. It says family on the title, I suppose. Anyway. What else do we have, dear? I think the next one is you, huh? Yeah,
well, let's get to the kind of cool news before we get to the depressing news. In Spain,
okay. I'm looking. Okay.
Yeah.
I was I'm looking for the cool news. I don't see the cool news
because a lot of our news is kind of oh, this makes me nervous. In Spain, they had a protest about a new series of laws that's going to make protesting more difficult.
Okay.
Basically, you have to have government approval to protest in front of universities, libraries, government buildings, which that's
is
not...
It are they veiling it at least as a we don't want to obstruct traffic or something?
That's exactly what it is. And if you don't get the permit, you can face fines up to 600,000 euros,
I think
something like that.
I think there are some cities in this country that do that.
Yeah. This is not an unheard of thing, but I found the the counter protest very interesting because they found a way to counter protest that has the impact, but they don't have to get a permit for. And what they did, they are protesting with holograms.
Okay, let me see if I can't get a picture here.
And they actually have a video and the link to the article.
Here we go. I will. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Go ahead. You can keep talking about it. I'm just gonna.
But
I'm gonna
yeah,
they
did holograms of people protesting, and the sign, the banner that they carried were something along the lines of like "We're not ghosts" or something, or "We shouldn't be ghosts," because the general fear is that this is, anytime you have to get permission from who you're protesting against to protest. There's always the possibility of.
Are there screens up there somewhere?
Yeah, they had a fine mesh screen.
Okay,
and then
so
they're
it kind of looked like a hologram.
Yeah.
That's neat. That's pretty neat.
So, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool because it's a way to protest this act without having to get the permits and that kind of thing.
Cool.
So they're still able.
I bet they had to get permits for the electricity to run the projectors.
Oh, I'm sure they probably did. But I thought that was
cool.
Pretty cool.
I mean, it's a shitty. Yeah. It sounds like it could plausibly be a shitty law.
It's one of those things that it's a slippery slope kind of law.
Yeah. It's not enough to be super pissed about, but it could turn into something to be very pissed about. If you get the wrong person
in power, if you, that kind of, it's,
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Bush, for the Patriot Act.
Yeah. Let's not get down that path.
Let's not go down that path.
No.
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool way to use, more modern technology to
and still get your point across.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So from good ideas, now we go to bad ideas. Bad ideas.
Maybe the worst idea I've ever heard in my life.
Yes.
They're planning to reboot and remake Rocky Horror Picture Show.
For TV.
Oh, that's even worse. Like, are they gonna
like HBO
Are they gonna do the thing that they did with all those other movies? The live stage thing?
It is not supposed to be live. It is not supposed to be live.
Well, like how? Okay. Who is doing it first? Who's Fox? Okay.
It's Fox. So they're.
Are they doing it like on their FX channel or something? Because like Rocky Horror is like. Overtly sexual. Like.
I don't believe that they've actually released what channel it would air on. It's still pretty early in the production. But it's a 2-hour TV movie. There are some of the original producers, and they want to use some of the original like dialogue and songs,
right. Well, I mean, I would hope that they take a lot of the stage stuff or film stuff. If Tim Curry's not in it, it's not going to be good.
Well, it's not going to be Tim Curry because he's not health wise. I
don't know. He could do Meatloaf's thing.
No, like, hasn't he had poor health lately? Like,
I honestly don't know. I don't really keep up with Tim Curry so much.
I'm looking it up now. But yeah, it's supposed to be.
I mean,
in 2013 he had a major stroke.
Oh no.
So
that's sad.
So like he's doing well and recovering, but it's still a major stroke where he had to relearn how to speak.
Yeah.
So there's no way he's going to have any part in this.
Apparently, this has happened before.
They've tried to do it before.
Well, maybe we'll be happy and it will fail again.
Yeah. But my fear...
So long as somebody has failed at it before, we have a chance.
My fear, because as terrible as the Sound of Music and the Peter Pan things were...
Yeah.
They were amazing ratings for the networks because everyone tuned in to hate watch it.
Oh, and that would be this. Care. That would be what we did.
They don't care why people watch it.
Yeah.
People are just watching it.
Yeah.
So I have a fear that this is and I will probably hate watch it because But yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah,
very sad, and I kind of do hope that
it's a fair bit of apprehension in there.
Because the thing is, like, I have a soft spot for Rocky Horror. I'll go ahead and give my Rocky Horror story. When I was
too young, doesn't matter. Too young.
7, 8.
Too young.
I have an uncle who, in age, is more like a cousin than an uncle.
He's a kunkle.
And so,
that sounds weird.
And so we were staying at my grandparents' house, and I wanted to stay up with, my cool uncle and hang out with him. And so we were going to watch a movie after all the grown-ups went to sleep.
Unklin.
He's
an unklin.
And so he was like, okay, I'll let you watch this movie with me, but whatever you do not tell your parents that I let you watch this movie. And of course, I'm like,
this is how awesome. You know something's about to be amazing.
Yeah. And so I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show at like 7 years old, and I thought it was amazing because it was cool music and people in crazy costumes, and this silly man dressed up like a woman, who I thought was just the silliest, funniest thing ever. And then as an adult, as a teenager, I watch it again, and I'm like, holy crap!
Why would you do this?
Yeah.
Unklin?
So I rewatched it, and so I got to experience it through the innocence of child eyes, and then through the,
jaded eyes of an 18-year-old child.
Yeah. So I have a soft spot for Rocky Horror.
We all do.
I will randomly, Sweet Transvestite will randomly pop into my head. We
got that soundtrack like for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
It's an amazing soundtrack.
It is.
That movie goes downhill fast though at the end. It's like the last 35-40 minutes are terrible.
Yeah, you can watch like the first 15-20 minutes with all the good songs.
Once
and then
Meatloaf goes off, it's pretty much over. Yeah. Just stop.
So I feel like they're gonna have to sanitize it a bit. I might be surprised because they're getting away with some things on network TV that I never thought they would. Like, you still have not watched Hannibal, but I am still shocked and slightly horrified that they are able to air Hannibal on network TV.
I say good. That means that for once we're allowed to actually raise our own children, at least in one small aspect of life.
One small aspect. So on to...
No.
Oh, no?
We're going to go on to the last bit of good news because we're not going to end on a good note. I need to break up the terrible.
Okay, let's break up the terrible.
So we're going to break up the terrible. We're going to talk about some of the pictures that got released. For Deadpool. So we're Deadpool 2 weeks in a row. Did we talk about it? Was that last week or was that the week before?
Last week or the week before.
Anyway, so we've got Deadpool screenshots coming out.
I gotta give them. Where'd it go? I gotta give them props for the marketing because this is one of those leaked photos, and it may actually be leaked.
That's the wrong picture. Screen captures are hard.
But
so okay, well we'll just go down the cadre of things that IO9 has up.
Yeah.
Thank you IO9 for helping us with our materials.
I really like how they're marketing it. They did that teaser thing and then they did the funny picture, and now they're showing to us, they're proving that like, hey, that X-Men thing with sewing the mouth shut, you don't have to worry about that anymore. So on the screen.
Wrong one. There we go. Okay. See, I was confused because I didn't do a screen capture. I just did a thing with stuff. And anyway,
you saw some frames from the comics, and that's what. And I didn't know this because I don't know anything about.
No, other than he gets chopped up into bits and can
Deadpool.
Put himself back together again, and he's a smart ass.
But I did not know about the cancer being part of his, he had cancer when he was given the Soldier X stuff or what is it?
Right.
And so that interaction created all the scarring and the hideousness, which is part of why he has all the.
I figured that was over the course of time he has been decapitated and burned entirely.
So they've this picture has come out and whether or not it's, intentionally leaked or whatever.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
There's no such thing as an accidental leak outside the government.
But it's showing, hey, we're going back to the comic roots. His mouth isn't going to be sewn shut.
Thank God.
We're basically ignoring.
I mean, when your character is literally nicknamed the Merc with the Mouth.
Yeah.
And you sew his mouth shut.
Yeah.
You've
done something.
You done fucked up. You done fucked up.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't have done that.
So I like, and everything. I think this is a great, like, if you want to call it guerrilla marketing or what have you. I think it's enough to draw people in and wipe the bad, a palate cleanser.
Well, I mean, like, we were all excited about Ryan Reynolds, and I want to say he was probably excited about it, sure. About being Deadpool the first time. Yeah. Because he kind of is Deadpool. Like, it's just his character. Every character he plays in basically every movie is a variation of Deadpool. Even that damn romantic comedy he did with Sandra Bullock. Yeah. He just didn't curse or ask about chimichangas. Yeah. I mean, he was still a smart ass, like, do whatever the hell he wants. He blackmails her, for God's sakes, at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. I mean, like, he is a smart ass guy. And he's got a great physique, which means he should be doing action things.
Yeah. So I am looking forward to this movie. The more I see it, the more
it does look really cool.
And side note, this week you saw the Burt Reynolds picture for the first time.
I didn't realize there was like an extra layer of comedy to the first Deadpool like costume reveal or whatever. I had never seen the
sexy pose
by the fireside with the bearskin rug.
Pose from Burt Reynolds in the 70s.
Burt Reynolds is pretty hot.
He was hot.
I don't know what now he's Turd Ferguson. In my mind, he
will always be Turd Ferguson.
He's Turd Ferguson. Yeah. But not him, like Celebrity Jeopardy.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald pretending
to be Burt Reynolds, who was pretending to be Turd Ferguson. My name is Turd Ferguson. Yeah. I don't know who Burt Reynolds is. I'll take the rapist for $500.
So there's the good news. So here's some.
All right.
Here's some ambiguous news.
This is all bad news.
No, I wasn't jumping to that.
Okay.
Wonder Woman. They've just released that they've lost their director, Michelle MacLaren,
who I don't know.
Which she's done some work on Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones.
We're getting this from Variety, by the way.
Yeah.
So it is a relatively credible source here.
Yeah. Which she's done some, television work with excellent shows.
Oh, she did some of the stuff. She did a director spot on The Leftovers, which I sort of enjoyed.
Yeah. So she's done
a lot of TV. Dead too.
Yeah. She's done a lot of TV work, but she's never had.
It would have been her first. It would have been her first major film.
But what makes me kind of nervous is that it's because of creative differences. Which, anytime that's cited as the reason, it always makes me nervous.
Well, they did the same thing with, like, 3 guys on Ant-Man, and we just talked about how good the trailer looked for that.
True. I mean, and that's why this is ambiguous.
Plus,
we'll never...
We don't know anything about... I have not heard anything about her love or hate of Wonder Woman. Her experience with Wonder Woman as a character. I have no idea if she has any ties. So this is... To me, at this stage, with this movie not shooting even until, like, 2 years from now, like, I think this matters very little, I feel like.
I think what makes me nervous is that it was like, DC's not completely idiotic, and they got a female director. Now that they've lost the female director, it's just, I'm just like, okay, what guy are they gonna get? That's my fear.
Well, like, just because a dude is directing doesn't make it necessary. Like, I would be more worried if there were a bunch of female writers that left because of creative differences that, like, and they left. Like, I would be much more worried about writers than I am about a director. I probably don't give enough credit to directors overall. But I mean in my mind, the director is more about the performance than the like the performances from the actors, like helping to merge their performances with the plot, as opposed to.
But that's a big.
I understand
part.
It is, but that to me doesn't really. I don't know. I feel like that is a unisex thing. I don't feel like a person's sex could, or gender. I don't know, whatever the appropriate word, sex, gender, whatever. Yeah. I don't think a person's, sexual background is as valid in that realm as it is in, say, writing the plot, like actually developing the story. I can so if it was writers, I could see being much more worried about it. Frankly, I think I'd be more worried if it was like costumers who well, I mean, like
a director. No.
In Wonder Woman, a little bit, because Wonder Woman could turn into horrible, slutty Wonder Woman, and that's not what any of us want.
But okay.
I mean, I don't know. It's just it's one of those sexuality things. Like it would be more impactful to me if there were women costumers who were leaving because of creative differences, as well as story writers, people who were directly controlling. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm not trying to trivialize directors. I am verbally trivializing directors. But I'm saying I think that actually no. Here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The writing the plot and doing costuming, I think, is more relevant. Would take more of a slant based on a person's sexuality than I think directing would. Yeah. So I think directing as a job is more unisex, as opposed to, a man probably would try and go for something a little sexier in costuming, whereas a woman might go for something like what we have, which is awesome, I think. Yeah. It's super good looking. I think it actually makes...
Still, just saying, Warrior would have their femoral artery covered. Legs would not be exposed.
It's Wonder Woman. Like, you can't tell me you weren't expecting that. At least it's not underwear.
I was hoping. It's not underwear.
It's not underwear. I mean, it's not underwear. Linda Carter had a great ass, but she was the most impractical Wonder Woman ever. Right? Like, at least it looks a little Greek, right?
Yeah.
It could. I do kind of wonder at why they went with like a variable length thing. I mean, obviously to show off her great legs, because a woman has great legs. Let's be real. But I think they did a good job in the costuming. They've made her actually look bulkier and more intimidating. I think it's good. But anyway, we're getting off the topic. Way off the topic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not too worried about the director leaving, especially this early, and the fact that it's a woman doesn't bother me, but only specifically because it's a director.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very much bothers me. I would be upset if they replace her with a male director. Just flat upset.
I would expect to be upset. Frankly.
You would expect to be upset, or you would expect me to be upset?
I would no. I'm saying you should anticipate being upset.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that is,
and that's
my
fear.
anticipation.
That's my fear.
Yeah. Okay. So, you can always tell when Jessica and I disagree on something. Yeah. We get real quiet at the end of the conversation. All right. On to childhood ruining things.
Yeah. So there's a giant list of live action. I don't know why they're doing this. Live action movies.
I'm going to call them cash grabs. These are the cash grabs that are coming out in the next few years.
Yeah, that's basically. So among the list, Fraggle Rock, Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book, Mulan.
Okay, wait. I'm going to pause you at Mulan. At least that one makes sense.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
There are mostly people in Mulan. Plus, I'm just saying, I hope they actually cast the girl they had in Once Upon a Time. I think she had a great look in that armor thing. I'm sorry, people. I just keep hitting the damn microphone. The armor that they made for her is awesome. Like, it's really so cool looking. Super good. Super good. Except for the helmet. I don't really love the helmet.
Yeah.
But I get why they did it. They were going for like this Mystique face thing. Yeah. And then they were, yeah.
But there's actually to sidetrack on Mulan some more, there's actually already a petition going around saying, please cast an Asian woman.
Yeah.
Because they're just, and I mean, yeah, Mulan needs to be an Asian woman.
Yeah.
But I can understand their fear. I can understand the fear that they would cast a white woman. Because, or someone who's, like...
vaguely, sort of, but not really.
You're Middle Eastern, you look kind of Asian, like something really, like that. Yeah. Rats of Nim, which
I've never even heard of that.
Okay. So The Secret of Nim.
The Secret of Nim I've heard of.
Is based on a book, Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim.
Okay.
The book goes into more depth about the rats at NIM, which is like the National Institute of Mental Health or something like that. Where they're experimented on and become super intelligent and their escape. So you get a lot more of their story.
Interesting. Is this actually a children's book? Because it's targeted as a children's movie.
It's a children's book.
Okay. Never read it.
It's excellent. I think it's floating around somewhere on our shelves.
Yeah. I would pick up the camera and show you our horror of shelves, but I think Jessica might actually kill me.
Yeah, it's in rough shape. The thing that gets me is the press release, early production description of this movie is that it's going to be about the comical rats that are in the NIM laboratories. So it sounds like some weird,
It sounds like it's going to be that Tiny Brains game. Did you ever play that with me? Where each, rat...
has a power.
Has a weird power co-op thing.
Because there is nothing... If you've seen the original movie...
No, I haven't seen anything.
You haven't seen
Never seen it.
Okay, we're watching that after this, because it's that good.
If we're watching that, then we have to watch Masters of the Universe. Because I love that movie, and it's an 80s movie too. You told me you didn't see that movie.
No, I've seen that movie.
That's a wonderful movie.
I told you I didn't remember much about that movie because I watched it once and I wasn't terribly impressed. But Secret of NIM is awesome. Secret of NIM is awesome.
Okay.
Our children are not allowed to watch it for several more years because it is intense. But there is nothing comical about the rats. These are rats that are being tested on and injected and
is it like witches? Like where witches, you remember witches?
Yeah, I remember. It's nothing like witches.
I know, no. I just mean the level of intensity of that. That movie to me was kind of intense for kids.
Secret of NIM is probably more intense because there's very little humor. There was a lot of... I remember there being witches.
There was humor, yes. But at the same time, some of it got scary.
There's one crow that's the humor, and that's it. And there's a big whole thing where there's a cat that's gonna come eat the crow because he's trapped. It's an intense movie. But so that has me really nervous. So there's also supposed to be a Cruella origin movie, but there hasn't been movement on that since 2013, so everyone's kind of considering that dead. Dumbo, which is probably the worst,
dumbest idea ever
for a live action movie.
Next to Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Why in the holiest hell would you make a live action Winnie the Pooh?
That's...
Who said this was a good idea?
Dumbo is going to be traumatic, and Ringling Brothers better be glad that they already made the announcement that they're not using elephants anymore. If that does get made,
it'd be like the Blackfish of
it
movie,
is. It absolutely is. I guarantee you, it's if they make a live action Dumbo,
goodness.
But Winnie the Pooh is going to be that's going to be nightmare fodder because I just don't see that turning out well.
I have to say also, I am surprised to see the Jungle Book on here. They did a live action Jungle Book. I mean, it's based on the books and not on the song movie.
That's the difference.
But
this is Disney, not
remaking their own movies, basically.
Not based on Rudyard Kipling's Jungle Book.
I think Disney made that Jungle Book too, didn't they?
I'll be honest, I don't know.
We can find out. If only we had internet-enabled devices.
But yeah, so lots of really odd choices in the cash grab. I do have to say, one of the ones that I am least concerned about just had some new news released. The Beauty and the Beast live action. Ian McKellen has joined as the Clock. Kevin Kline is going to be the dad. Emma Thompson is going to be Mrs. Potts.
Really? Was this in 1994? No.
Yeah, I guarantee. Yeah,
no. It's not.
No?
It's
okay.
98. Is this what I'm thinking of?
I think what I'm most excited about is that Emma Watson is going to be Belle. Yeah. The second that she was cast, I was like, okay, I feel better about this movie. The one thing that kind of gets me, though... okay, well, he's not...
No, it is, yeah, 1994.
Yeah,
the one I was thinking of, but it is a Disney movie.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay, I did not realize it was Disney.
And they did, without the music, try to sell it. Like, the cover actually has an orangutan with a hat, with a crown, and a grizzly bear. I don't know why a grizzly bear would be in a jungle. And a panther, Black Panther, and a tiger. So they were trying to bill it as that, but
I'm very interested to see how they're going to remove the kind of like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
The one thing that does give me a bit of pause is who they've cast as the Beast. Dan Stevens, who you probably don't know, but he's Matthew from Downton Abbey, and he was born in 1982, and Emma Watson was born in 1990. So there is...
But he's going to be... Oh, okay, I see why they did that. Like, go look at the pictures from the cartoon. Like, that guy looks like the damn cartoon prince.
Yeah, he does. He looks like... the blue eyes and the facial structure.
Yeah. But I think he's going to be so, like... Emma Watson looks really young. He looks young, but they're going to make him very... Like, there's going to be so much makeup on him, I think, in most of the movie, that the age, any age difference is not going to be a thing.
Yeah. I guess in my head, like, Emma Watson is still Hermione, and I just think of her as, like,
82. This guy is not that much younger than you. Like, that's crazy. He's crazy young looking for 30. I'm sorry.
Let's just take a moment, Internet, and think about what my husband just said.
What? You are beautiful and young looking. This guy looks like he's like 20.
Because that's not how you said that.
Whatever. You've been married to me this long. You're aware. You're aware.
I have.
Internet doesn't need to know.
But in my head... Oh, and happy early birthday, Emma Watson. Her birthday's April 15th.
A very merry birthday to you.
But, in my head, she's still Hermione, and she's still, like, 16, and so I'm like, that 30-year-old going after that 16-year-old girl. And I know she's not. She's an adult. She's, yeah.
She's, like, making speeches at the UN.
I know. She's a UN ambassador.
I like, yeah. I view her as much more of an adult than, like, even, like, Daniel Radcliffe.
I know. But in my head,
and he's been trying way harder to divorce himself from being 16.
From being Harry Potter, yeah.
She's just doing good things.
but the second they cast her, I was on board. Even with all the really terrible Stockholm syndrome and like just really bad messages that the movie gives, I still have a really soft spot for Belle, because when that movie came along, I was Belle. I was in a very small Northeast Texas town, and I loved to read, and I knew there had to be more than this provincial life, and I was just, and I found my reason.
You're gonna
you
cry.
Really didn't
You're
see
really
it? No, I was trying to make my joke about you being a beast.
I was going to relate myself to the Beast already, though. Yeah.
But
I'm a fat, hairy dude who just yells at people randomly. That's me.
But
completely unreasonable.
I do.
Fuck everything.
I have such a soft spot for Belle that.
I love that movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, the Beast is gruff. He's got a huge library.
Yeah.
Like, I was a dork and I felt alone as a child. Yeah. And Gaston represented every fucking jock in my high school. Like, popular, muscular. I just want to punch him in the face because he was born that way and he's not even trying. Yeah. Like, just... Yeah. It beyond the dickheadery, like, you know, his in general stance in life bothered me as a character. Yeah. We really need to turn our phones on silent. I got a notification. Now you get a phone ring. It's probably your father.
It is. He's telling me that he made it safe. But yeah, I have a soft spot for that movie, and it's one of those movies that I probably won't show Ginger until she's much older, and we'll probably talk about it a lot because there's some terrible messages in that movie.
I think that was one of the first ones I remember really enjoying. Aladdin came out before that one, right?
Yeah. Aladdin was right before it.
Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast. That was like my home base for Disney movies. Like, and I loved Aladdin, but I mean that's a lot to do with like Robin Williams, but I loved Beauty and the Beast too. Like, I loved the clock, whose name, and I loved Lumiere. Like, you know, I never
is it
Clockworth?
Is it Clockworth?
I think it's Clockworth.
Cogsworth.
We're so close. So anyway, since we're talking about the clock, who's playing him? I don't think you actually said it, have you?
Ian McKellen.
So that's what we're talking. That's why we're talking about all this. Apparently, Ian McKellen recently got announced as having the role of Cogsworth.
Yeah. But
I hope he grows a mustache. What? Like, that was part of the cartoon, right? Like his little hands on the Clockworth's mustache.
Have they released who's going to be Lumiere yet? No, they have not.
I have the IMDb up, actually. So let's see. Luke Evans will be Gaston.
Which I think he's a good.
I have no idea who that is.
He's a good choice.
Emma Watson, as we talked about. Dan Stevens. LeFou. Oh, LeFou. The Gaston's little sidekick is going to be Josh Gad, who we just saw in something, but I don't remember what now. Oh, I didn't know he did. Did he do Olaf? He did. He did the voice for Olaf. What the hell else? What did we just see him in?
Man.
Shit. Anyway, he's a good cast for it.
New Girl. He's Bear Claw.
That's right. He's Bear Claw. New Girl. That's right. Like the most miscellaneous.
But he made an impression. He made a very big impression.
Well, like, I had seen him in other stuff before that too, and I enjoyed him. I mean, he's not like, you know, hot shit, but part of me isn't in love with Emma Watson being Mrs. Potts, but mostly because I always think of
you mean Emma Thompson?
I'm sorry. What did I say?
You said Emma Watson.
I was looking at Emma Watson because, you know, she's Emma Watson. She's pretty.
I know. I'm kind of sad,
but like in my mind,
Lansbury is still alive.
You know? Well, no, it's not that actually for me at all. Okay. No, in my mind, I always hear Luther Vandross and Patti LaBelle singing that one song, and it's Mrs. Potts who sings that other part, who sings the female part in that song, and like this is like the one time my mother and I like really connected on like a musical level when I was a child, because I'm not gonna lie, I really like Luther Vandross. Like, Secret Shame. That's like the secretest secret shame ever. Luther Vandross is the bomb diggity, and I will listen to pretty much all of his music. I even go so far as to have bought CDs for people that are Luther Vandross. But that's, I kind of would have preferred, like, I don't know. I can't think of a good dramatic female African American actress at the moment that I really like that's older at the same time. Like, I'm not by any means disappointed in Emma Thompson, just like I would have rather.
Well, I think a teapot kind of has to be English.
I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, it does. And like you said, Angela Lansbury, Emma Thompson is effectively Angela Lansbury. That's what we need. Murder, She Wrote. The movie starring Emma Thompson. It could even be good. We would even allow it to be good. Because Murder, She Wrote was not good. It was entertaining, but it was not good. Anyway.
So a mixed bag with the live action movies coming up, but overall
I don't remember Maurice as a character. Kevin Kline is playing Maurice.
Maurice is the dad, is Belle's dad.
Oh, okay.
Crazy inventor.
Yeah. I don't remember a lot of the characters.
Cautiously
and no,
optimistic.
they don't have Lumiere.
Yeah, I already looked. Cautiously optimistic. So on to TV. The big TV news this week is Daredevil.
Yes,
the entirety of Daredevil became available on April 10th.
And we watched 1.5 episodes because we were preparing for our child's birthday party.
Yeah. But I gotta say, the first episode I really enjoyed.
I watched a history of Daredevil and kind of like learned about where they were going with this, and a lot of it's based off of some of the Frank Miller stuff that was written, I guess, in the 80s, because that's when he wrote basically every damn thing, or early 90s. And like, I was not in love with the costuming to begin with. Like,
see, I like the costuming.
The mask over the head thing.
I like it.
But like, once I saw it in action, I was into it. I was really into it.
I actually really like it because it looks like something you could buy in a sporting goods store.
Yeah.
You know, it really looks...
I also liked some of the attention to detail, right? Like, if you look at his shirt, the linings in the seams, they're all red.
Yeah. Like, but it looks like something a real person would come up with.
Yeah.
You know, and
especially a blind person.
But I like the look of it. I really, really, really enjoy that they did not treat us like idiots and that we needed a step-by-step guide into his origin. You know, they
just kind of had like one scene, that's kind of,
and it's like, okay, like you're smart enough to follow this,
and we're having flashbacks, you know, sometimes, and it's kind of setting up, you know, where he comes from and how, you know, and I think the gradual setup of his desire to fight crime is good. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So far, anyway. I mean, we've only watched like an episode and a half.
But in general, what I've heard from people that I know, and I trust their opinion, is that it's really good. Yeah. Everyone I know is enjoying it. The stuff I've read on the internet, spoiler-free stuff I've read, has been, you know, positive. Yeah.
What's her face from True Blood is in it? I don't remember her name, the actress's name, for the life of me.
Jessica was the
Jessica is a character's name, yeah.
So that's easy to remember.
But she's doing a great job. I think she is effectively the comic relief. Yeah. Deborah Ann Wall, I guess, or Wool, Woll. I'd call that Wall.
I don't know. Anyway. And his
sidekick Foggy. Yeah. Foggy Nelson, which I've never read that much Daredevil, but like, yeah, between those two, like this show is going to be, it's going to carry itself as entertainment and not just a grimdark fest, which Daredevil could be, because it's grim and dark, and he's blind, and it's terrible, and he's not good yet, right? Like, he's not that good. Yeah. Though I did find
the second episode opens up with him almost being, you know,
but at the same time,
in a dumpster.
Like, it's a little uneven, right? Like, in the first episode, he has trouble beating up one dude at the end of the episode. Yeah. But at the beginning of the episode, he takes out like 15 guys.
But I think that's also...
Or no, 8. I think they actually say 8 at some point in the show.
But I think it's the setting of the fight was among all those containers. But still, and they were just ground level thugs.
I'm sorry.
Luck.
There whatever. We go. He had his little stick too. Yeah, he didn't use his stick in the second fight. Maybe that's what it was.
But yeah, Daredevil could go to a very dark, ugly place, and I think having that.
And we also know that, you know, the Kingpin is going to be in it. We haven't watched enough to actually have seen. They keep referring to the boss, and we're not using his name, and da 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 da.
But yeah, I recognize the voice, so I know who's playing the
Well, no,
Kingpin.
he wasn't it. He wasn't. He never got voiced at all in the episodes we watched.
He didn't?
Nope.
I thought he was on the phone with the lawyery guy. Anyway.
But anyway, yeah, we know that that it's Wilson Fisk. I mean, Kingpin.
Yeah. But so far I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to
watching the rest of it.
Yeah, I think and the other Marvel TV shows.
We'll probably watch like 2 episodes a week if we can, and add like to our recaps each week. We need to start like keeping notes and stuff when we're watching.
I know.
Stuff. Like, keep a tablet with us and take notes. All right.
I've been since we haven't had much TV to talk about, I'm going to talk about the things I've been reading. I read 2 books this week. One was very short, and one was just so good that I read 3/4 of it in one night. But they're both older books because I never read anything as it comes out.
No time for video games and all that time for books.
I know.
Get your priorities crooked.
But I read The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I can never remember how to pronounce it.
I think the A comes before the I, right? Frank's going to come up here.
Oh, okay. This is our dog, Franklin.
Hi, Frankie.
Say hello to the internet.
Sorry.
We're buffering.
Oh, no. Because Franklin got up in the chair. The internet couldn't handle it.
But very good, very indicative of his writing style, i.e. weird and not everything is explained, which I enjoy.
That kind of drives me insane, personally.
See, I enjoy it. I enjoy, filling in the blanks.
It's just, I can enjoy that in a movie because it's a shorter investment. Yeah. But because of the extensive investment in a book, I kind of want it to be all tied up. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it.
I can see that. The other I read because the movie is coming out November 25th, and I always like to read the books first so I can go into the movie and be disappointed.
This is not the same.
This is wrong. But The Martian, the book was written by Andy Weir. The movie is going to have Jessica Chastain and Kate Mara and Matt Damon and Kristen Wiig and like Sean Bean and like a ton of people. Donald Glover, Jeff.
Is Sean Bean the guy? Does he die? Like he's going to die in like the first. He's going to die in the first like 10 minutes of the movie.
I was really impressed. It was the first novel of this guy, and I felt that it was a really amazing first novel.
I mean, from everything you're telling me, I'm actually pretty excited to read about it myself.
It's on your bedside table for whenever you're ready.
Oh, that's not going to happen. I've got
I know you've got other stuff to read.
I'm reading the Star Wars, the newest Star Wars, or second newest Star Wars book. I can't put it in there. There we go. Yeah. So that's my reading for this week. Well, and I've only just started.
I know. But the
and it's because I need a break.
Yeah. Game of Thrones is heavy stuff. And it's also directed by Ridley Scott, which
he does space so good.
He does space well.
He does space so good.
But the plot line of The Martian is it's the 3rd manned mission to Mars, and there's a freak dust storm early in the mission, and so they're getting ready to leave, and a guy gets impaled by part of the communications satellite, and crew can't find him, and his bio readings are showing him as dead, so they leave, and then turns out he's not dead, and he survives, but he was impaled by the communications tower, so he can't tell them that he's alive, and it's going to be, I think, like 6 years or something like that before the next manned mission lands, and it's going to land like almost 4,000 kilometers away, so it's basically, man versus planet. And anything and everything that can go wrong does go wrong.
Is his name Grills?
No, it's Mark.
Martian Grills. Yeah. Mark Grills.
Mark Watney.
Watney? Jesus, he even sounds like a nerd.
Well, he's a botanist engineer. Like that's
a botanist engineer on Mars?
On Mars.
Why would you send a botanist to Mars?
Because
you want to see if you can grow things on Mars, I guess, in a greenhouse or whatever.
But that's apparently a thing. Like if you're an astronaut, you have two roles. Yeah. So he was the engineer and the botanist.
Oh, okay.
You have like
I thought you meant he was like a plant engineer, specifically.
No, like engineer. I can build stuff to help me survive.
Okay.
Botanist, I'm gonna study
It makes him a little more
plants.
MacGyver-y there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very much MacGyver on Mars.
Okay.
Very much MacGyver on Mars.
Extra super down for this.
And every single time you think he's got it, and you're like, okay, he's gonna be okay. Mars just takes a big ol' shit all over him. You know, it's just, yeah.
And not like, a good shit, like the worst kind of shit, like on his head.
Yeah.
Other people's shit on his head.
Like it really, and it's told mostly through his log entries, and then every now and then it shifts into a third person, and then it'll kind of flash to his crew.
We're about a third of the way through. I sneezed.
And so like every time it switched to the third person, I was like, Jesus, what's gonna happen now? Because it's kind of a symbol, it's kind of like a subtle shift that something bad is about to happen now. But I really highly recommend it. It's probably the best book I've read in quite some time. It was funny. I was chuckling the whole time, and I'm like trying to read bits to Matt without giving away major plot points because the dialogue's just so funny. Like the character of Mark is a funny guy, and just really good. Very much looking forward to the movie and hoping I'm not too
Should they have cast Ryan Reynolds for that too?
No, I think Matt Damon.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they cast for it already, honestly.
Yeah, well, it's releasing November 25th this year.
Oh, well, yep, that'll do it.
So, yeah. But yeah, Matt Damon's the main guy.
I can see him working out pretty well. Yeah. He's got some timing.
Yeah, he's funny, and he, I can take the physics. Because, I mean, to be an astronaut, you have to be physically fit. You have to, So, He
plays smart well, too, I feel.
Yeah. So, I like all the casting.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to it.
I didn't read no educational books.
No,
I played Minecraft.
You played Minecraft.
I played modded Minecraft for the first time though. I've never really played with mods. Yeah. You guys have seen some of our videos before. We play survival. We play almost strictly. I mean, we play pretty strictly vanilla survival.
We have a map now because I keep getting lost.
Yeah, I got tired of Jessica getting lost and losing all of our shit, or literally wandering in the total opposite direction of our home when we're only like 50 blocks away. And there's a giant ass tower in the middle of the water. I don't understand it fully, but whatever. So, I've not played modded Minecraft, so I decided I've been watching Mionite, which I'm sure you guys have seen. If you like Minecraft, you've watched Mionite before. It's, this season they are playing with just mod bonanza is my general, my general understanding is that a lot of people usually go with the, 1 to 5 of these mods, and I think I have something like 25 damn mods or something. I have Thaumcraft, which is a sort of magic. I have Blood Magic. I'm using Ars Magica 2, which is kind of your more traditional magic, magey type magic. Yeah, pew-pewy kind of stuff. I have a mod where I can make nuclear reactors, and I can make giant hammers that dig out a 3x3 square, and shovels that do the same. I can make iron bows with iron strings. Just all kinds of mods. I'm having a shitload of fun. The other night, I made a hammer, and I cleared out what would have taken me an hour to clear out for one room. I cleared out in 20 minutes, man. It was this hammer is like a godsend. It is a beautiful thing. So my next plot is to work on getting some majory going. I need to find some damn chickens, because apparently there are no chickens in the biome that I'm in. Cows aplenty. Cows aplenty. I have books coming out of my ass No feathers to make a damn feather quill and feather book. No. Chickens would be far too convenient. Just sheeps and cows.
Just kill a bunch of skeletons.
I also need pigs. Apparently, you can make candles out of pig fat and string to use in like dark rituals with bug magic. It's good stuff. So there's like apparently giant ass altars I can make with dragon eggs and shit. Like I'm excited to get a little further in. But that's kind of it for me. I've only just started delving in. I've only played a couple of hours of it so far. I've had my first blood moon. The blood moon basically is monsters spawn extra at night during Minecraft, right? We're all aware of that. With the blood moon, they spawn like exponentially more, and it's horrible. It's so bad. It's so bad. So bad. It's super fucking bad. Like, they almost took out my door. Like, there was just that many damn zombies at my door. Don't go outside. Like, just figure out something else to do. It was like my third night, too, so I barely had a door. Sorry, I'm all fidgety because I'm hot. But yeah, so... Blood moon. I haven't had a second blood moon, but I'm more prepared now. I actually have some armor and a weapon, so
weapons are good.
Weapons are good. Yeah, like I didn't even have weapons. Didn't even get that far. Dug myself a hole and then put a door up immediately.
Just cowered.
Yeah, basically. All right. Well, that's us. We're going to talk about game releases this week. We have 2 big releases for tomorrow. Grand Theft Auto 5 is finally coming out for the PC. Hopefully it lives up to all of the hype. I mean, we've had to wait months extra, actually. I think it got pushed back 3 or 4 times. So I am looking forward to that. Actually, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm totally not going to buy it because... Yeah, I don't really play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you're looking forward to the next one.
Steam sale, maybe. Why am I looking forward to the next one?
You aren't looking... Everybody's looking forward to the next one. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Grand Theft Auto 6?
No. Like the next movie, the next game on our list.
Oh, Mortal Kombat X. I'm actually not looking forward to that one either. I don't really dig fighting games. It looks super cool.
Yeah.
I'll be super happy to watch it at EVO next year. Like EVO, like I watch the finals of EVO every year. Yeah. Because I always find them on like Kotaku or something has like highlights and stuff. I guarantee it's going to be there, and it's going to be funny shit to watch.
Yeah.
And some of the fatalities they have are awesome as hell. So maybe I will pick it up. I don't know. But
not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, no. When it's on like the $20 bin, and then I'll get it. And it's like Mortal Kombat X Ultra Mega Complete Edition with Game 15 extra edition. Game of the Century Edition. All of the extra things, and then past things and future things, and all the things. All the things. All right. Dear, would you like to tell people about how to like and comment and subscribe? Since we forgot to do it last week.
Well, there are buttons. One of them says like, and one of them says subscribe.
Actually, it doesn't say like. There's just a thumbs up now.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a thumbs up button. And then there's one that says subscribe, so you can get all our awesome videos. And then there's a little box to write your comments in.
Some of the terrible videos, too. Because I promise there are a couple of bad ones in there.
There are a couple of bad ones in there.
Hell, this might be a bad one. I'm not sure yet.
Who knows? And let's see. Our best parenting news week.
Best parenting advice ever this week.
This week comes via some stupid parents on the internet. I can't remember where they're from. But okay, I gotta look this up.
Oh boy.
Cause I need to.
You need to have a reference.
Cleveland Zoo. Okay.
Oh.
Some dumb parents in Cleveland.
Ultra dumb parents. I remember I saw this story.
Well, mother. I don't know if the dad was there or not.
The dad was there. He's equally stupid. Guilt by association in this case.
Guilt by association. But
parenting is a team sport.
The mother dangled her toddler over the edge of the cheetah enclosure and then dropped him. The
cheetahs move so fast, you had to get a good like I guess.
Luckily,
what is wrong with you fucking people?
Luckily, it was the cheetah pet, because cheetahs are like known for their chillness. Like they're small, lightweight predators, which is why they can move so fast. So they're not really brave per se, because they know like lions can eat them.
Yeah.
You know, a pack of hyenas can eat them. So luckily, they were low-key animals anyway. And then zoo raised. And they just kind of like watched as the woman dropped her child. No, the dad was there too, so both parents.
Yeah. Team sport.
And then the parents jumped in and got him. And kid's okay. Parents are being charged.
Good.
Yeah. Which so that's our advice. Never dangle your children over the pit of anything at the zoo.
We had this one friend years ago. We used to live by this zoo where you could like pretty much reach out and touch the tiger enclosure.
It was very close.
It was awesome. Not gonna lie. Like these
closest
were some.
I've ever been
these
to
are these are the oldest tigers in the face of the planet though. Like these are like the captivity tigers that have been in captivity since birth.
Yeah.
Super old chill like tigers. Like not chill like I can pet them chill, but super chill. Yeah. Right. And you can get within like 5 feet of them there.
Yeah.
And our friend, he takes his kid to the zoo, and he's like, his son is like, 5 or 6. And he's like, "Oh, Daddy, it's so pretty." And he turns around without pause and he says, "Son, that tiger will eat your fucking face off." Okay, maybe he didn't say fucking to his 6-year-old. He said, not. "Son, that tiger will eat your face off." Guess what, people? Animals in the zoo will eat your face off. They will eat your face off.
Yeah.
They may be cute. They may be pretty. They will eat your face off. Yes. That is why there is a big fucking gate or a giant pit between you and the... Because they will eat your face off.
So don't please don't dangle your children.
Don't dangle your children.
If you think, if you're thinking about dangling...
Let Darwinism take over, man.
Dangle yourself first. And then,
let God sort out the rest.
There you go.
Or the cheetahs.
So, I guess that's it.
That's it for us tonight. I don't know. Were we short tonight? No, we were an hour and 10 minutes.
No, we were good. We were good. Thank you for all our live viewers that joined us. Didn't have any discussion of Britney Spears come up in the chat.
Didn't have any discussion this week.
But thank you for joining us. And thank you for all of you YouTube viewers that view us at a later time. I understand because we never watch live anything anymore.
No, we don't. So, but we do appreciate your likes. We do appreciate your views. I think YouTube has reported we have earned up to 5 cents with doing this.
Yes.
And frankly, we're not going to get paid anytime soon.
Yeah.
But we're still having fun. We have officially made money by talking to each other.
Yeah.
I just want the internet to know this is literally the only time my wife and I actually get to talk to each other about anything, which is really the reason why we've been doing this up to this point.
A little bit, yeah.
All right, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
We will see you next week. Actually, we'll probably be back on our regular schedule, filming on Saturday or Sunday night, and have a new video up on Monday morning for everybody to view at work while they're working. That's disturbing. We just did that at the same time.
Yes.
Air 5. All right. Love you, dear. Bye.
Bye.
Be happy.